this video, I just want to go over and share some tips that I wish I had knew sooner when I was still studying. So this video is intended for the younger generation, especially middle school and high school students. So the first thing I want to tell the younger generation is to believe in yourself. The first thing is to believe in yourself first. If you don't have belief, then it's very difficult for you to take action. And if you don't take consistent action, then your dreams will be much more difficult to achieve. It's often very easy to dream about stuff, but it's a lot more difficult to be consistent, stay consistent, and never give up. So the first thing I would say is to really believe in yourself. Back when I was in high school and university, I used to be a very shy kid, and I'm still like that kid inside. But I just want to tell you that whatever you think that you can achieve, you just have to have the confidence and have the belief in yourself. Now, it might sound like a little cheesy to say to believe in yourself. Often I find that a lot of people find it very difficult to believe in themselves. So one way to start building that confidence and that belief in yourself is to use manifestation technique or the visualization technique. This technique is a very powerful technique used by a lot of successful people. And this technique is taught in NLP, which stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. But visualization is a very powerful tool that if you use it correctly, it will help you reach your goal faster. And it's very simple. When you wake up, you just have to visualize yourself being the person that you're thriving to be, being the person that you want to become. And this is often done a lot easier if you had a document. So I will link to the worksheet in the description in the video below. And I just want you to go through this worksheet. It's basically a worksheet that you have to start writing out your dreams, your desired outcomes, what you want to achieve in life. Because if you don't have a goal, then it's very difficult to reach that destination. But if you have a goal in mind, you have a destination in mind, then you have a chance of reaching that destination or not. But if you don't have a goal in the first place, then how can you know that you've reached that destination? So I highly encourage you to download the worksheet below. Take some time to really complete this document to the best of your ability. And after you have completed this document, so basically, just let me explain the format of this document. The first page is the paradigm shift. So in the first page, I want you to fully customize it to your own dreams, your own desired outcomes. So for example, in my document, I want to be traveling when I'm older. I want to be an investor. I want to be a VC. I want to be an entrepreneur. So I would put images or photos that resonate my goals. And you would have to customize it to your own liking, because I'm different from you and you're different from other people. You are unique in your own way. So really customize the first page. Now the second page is very powerful. It's statements that you read aloud to yourself. And by reading aloud these statements regularly, you have to be consistent with it too. You kind of like condition your mind to start believing those statements. And the mind is a very powerful tool. If you have belief in something, then you're more likely to take action and reach that goal. So the first step is to believe in yourself. Fill out the worksheet below. The next thing that I want to talk about is what you do and who you do it with is more important than speed. I did not invent this. This is taken from Naval Suravikant's book. He's a really successful entrepreneur. And yeah, so this was taken from his book. But basically, what you do and who you do it with is more important than speed. I think the grind culture is kind of like a little bit overrated because the direction also matters. For example, if you just keep on running, working hard, but the thing that you're working on isn't necessarily what the world wants, then changing direction would be like a lot more difficult now. So getting the strategy and the direction first in the beginning phase is more important than speed. So I would encourage all of you to start thinking hard about yourself, what you want to do in life, and what gives you joy, what gives you happiness, what are you passionate about. Because at the end of the day, I really believe that you can become financially free while doing the things that you love. For example, if you like playing basketball, then you can make a really good living, like a lot of money, doing things that's related to basketball. And there's a way I will try to reveal and show it in the later videos. So if you're interested in learning more about it, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe so I can take you on this journey with me. What you do and who you do it with is more important than speed. The third point is that you can be financially free doing things that you love. This is because right now we're in the middle of the AI revolution, the artificial intelligence revolution. This is a very powerful and a big change in our world. It's never happened before. So the AI revolution and with the internet, it's a very powerful trend that if you capitalize on it correctly, it can help you do whatever you love, make a decent living, and like gives you passion and the freedom to do whatever you want. Yeah, you can be financially free doing things that you love. You don't have to spend time doing things that bore you or that you're not passionate about. Because I believe that life is very short. Like, we're probably only gonna live to like 120, but anyway, like even 200 years is a really short amount of time on Earth. The Earth has been here like for billions of years. And yeah, so our life is very short. Time passes by really quickly. Back then when I was in high school, I never realized how fast like time would fly. So really cherish your time as a student too, and just like start exploring what gives you meaning, what are you passionate about. Start thinking about that now. It might not be easy, but if you really dig deep and you go at it every day, eventually you will discover what you want to do with life. Because in life, you have to try to do something. Like, you have to do something and make a living, because you have expenses, you gotta pay rent, you gotta buy food, you gotta take care of your family. So you gotta like do something to earn. And you can do things that make a really good living, and it's the things that really gives you joy, meaning, and passion. So think hard about that. In Japanese terms, it's called ikigai, which it's like a 4 Venn diagram. Okay, I think this is a really good and important concept. It's called the ikigai, which means a Japanese concept meaning a reason for being. Looking at this diagram, you'll see that there are 4 circles. The first one is what we love. The second one is what the world needs. The third one is what we can be paid for. And the fourth one is what we are good at. So essentially, you would want to find the things that are in the middle. So this is called the ikigai. So let's say between what we love and what the world needs, it's called mission. Between what the world needs and what we can be paid for is called our vocation. Between what we are good at and what we can be paid for is called our profession. And between what we are good at and what we love is called our passion. Now, we don't want to be kind of like stuck in the middle somewhere. We want to essentially be at the middle of this ikigai diagram. Why? Because, for example, if you're in this section, which is between your passion, what you love, and your mission, it's not like what you can be paid for, then it's delightful, but it doesn't give you enough pay. And the same thing here. So in between what we can be paid for and what the world needs, it's called vocation, right? So basically, okay, you can observe this diagram yourself, but you don't want to be stuck in the middle. You want to find your ikigai, which is at the center of what you love, what the role needs, what you can be paid for, and what you are good at. That's essentially the meaning of this diagram. Okay, the fourth point is that wealth follows assets. I did not invent this. I took this from Daniel Priestley's book. I think it's called like The Key Person of Influence. So basically, wealth follows assets, and wealth is different from money. Money is just a currency that we use to exchange for goods or services. It's like a storehold of value. But wealth is something that will generate money for you. Being wealthy is more important than having a lot of money. But you can make a lot of money, but don't have wealth. For example, if you're in a high-paying profession, let's say a lawyer or a doctor, you're making a lot of money, but you're sacrificing your time for money. I'm not like discriminating doctors or lawyers. They're an essential part of our economy, but like being wealthy is different from having a lot of money. So if you want to be wealthy, then you have to acquire assets. You have to have a lot of assets, whether by acquiring or creating assets. And also there's different types of assets. There's physical assets like gold, like tangible and intangible assets. But there's also intangible assets such as IPs, copyrights, patents. Yeah, so if you want to be wealthy, then start building your assets. And last but not least, if you want to have financial freedom, doing the things that you love, that gives you meaning, gives you passion, then I believe that creating a personal brand is one of the best business models out there today. The reason why is because the world is very competitive these days. Like there's a lot of brands, there's a lot of products and services out there already. So in order to compete, you have to be different, right? And by building a personal brand, you can be authentic, you can be unique in your own way while still make a really good living. And yeah, so I believe that building a personal brand is one of the best business models that you can do right now. Because by building a personal brand, you're holding yourself accountable. Like you're holding yourself accountable in terms of how you present yourself, how you look. So you have to take care of your skin. You have to work out, exercise, you have to eat healthy. You have to be accountable for your own actions. And you have to be constantly learning new things because you are your own representation of your own brand. So you have to constantly learn new things. And by constantly learning new things and investing in yourself, you can never lose. That is why I believe that building a personal brand is one of the best business models that you can do right now. Basically, it's for this video, it's just kind of like things that I wish that I had knew sooner and things that I would tell my younger self. So believe in yourself, because without belief, it's very difficult to achieve big things. And life is very short. So you have to think big, aim big, and start working towards your goal day by day. What you do and who you do it with is more important than speed. So direction and strategy is very important. And you can be financially free doing things that you love. For example, like when I was a kid, I just wanted to play tennis, like Muay Thai, do Thai boxing, exercise, travel, do all these things, which you can have financial independence while doing the things that you love. And I think in the subsequent videos, I will try to break it down into smaller and more actionable tasks so that you can understand. Yeah, it might be a little bit too far-fetched, I'm not sure. But in the next videos, if you subscribe, I will make more videos teaching you how to build a personal brand and become authentic, become a key person of influence in your own niche. Wealth follows assets. So if you want to be wealthy, you want to have financial independence, then you want to start acquiring assets. And if you don't have a lot of assets already, then you can start creating your own assets. I will also show that in the subsequent videos. And building a personal brand is one of the best business models that you can adopt today. So that's about it for this video. I hope you guys have learned something, and yeah, if you found it helpful, then please drop me a like and share this video to your friends so we can make a bigger difference together. And that's about it. My name is Paul Cedric Korn, and let me know how it goes.